that's why I'm here, is so that maybe we could do some yoga together. So first off, um, welcome, and I'm really excited that you're here and that you're watching this. This is my very first, um, well, my first and second tries were not really great, and I don't know, sound was bad, things like that. So, but first off, in yoga, before you start any yoga exercise program, you just want to make sure that you've consulted a doctor, or you've um, talked to your doctor and asked for permission that it's okay. Just consulted with them, and also be safe. So yoga should never feel painful. It should feel maybe like you're stretching, but never painful, and there should never be any numbness while you're exercising or doing yoga. And let's see, I have a little list here with me. So again, I'm Diana and Grace Yoga. Please follow me so you know that when I'm live, you can join in. My plan is to have a schedule, regular schedule at 5:15 or so in the morning to start doing yoga. I just want to introduce to you my little dog, Guinevere. So this is Guinevere. She and I have another dog, and I have a cat. Uh, I can't see chats very well whenever you come in. So if you say something, I can't really respond right then because it's just kind of the print is too small and I don't know how to fix that. So if you have any ideas on how I can fix it as I'm teaching yoga and leading through poses and stuff. So again, this is Guinevere, and I'm trying to think. So this is kind of like a beta for me. I'm just testing the waters here, seeing how it goes. So I'm here to teach yoga and I want it to be a fun experience. So let's do some yoga. And I'm going to put Guinevere down. You might see my pets coming in here as we are doing these yoga poses. Okay, so for yoga, the first thing you'll need is a yoga mat. So I've got mine set up here. Some other things that you could use are some blocks and a yoga strap. My strap is 10 feet long, which is kind of long. You could have a strap that's 6 foot, and those are a little bit less expensive and very obtainable at places like Walmart or Amazon or anywhere. TJ Maxx sometimes has it, or Ross. Okay, all right. So, first thing in yoga, yoga is all about the breath, all about breathing. So, if you imagine fogging up a mirror, if you walk up to a mirror and you just like fog it up, that constriction in the back of the throat is the type of breathing that we do and use in yoga for to warm up the body, to get the energy flowing. So, so let's practice. So just easy seated pose here. And we're going to sit here. Sits bones pressing into the floor. Sits bones are the bottom of the pelvis bones. So you just want to feel them pressing into the floor. And we're going to roll the shoulders up and back down. Slide your shoulder blades down the rib cage. All right. And then when you take in a deep inhale, you're going to breathe in through the nose with that constriction of the throat, kind of like a yawn almost. And you're going to let your abdomen expand. And then as you press the breath out, notice how the breath has become warm. So as the air comes in, we'll just practice that together. You could almost say like, Luke, I am your father. It kind of does sound like a Darth Vader type breath. So even though right now we're just sitting here, we'll actually add some movement with this. So we're going to place our hands down by our side, and then on your next inhale, we're going to use that same breath and go. Lift the arms up overhead, exhale down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Good. Did I say that this yoga is about you? I meant to say that. So your feedback is so important to me. All right. So we're just going to warm up the body because it is kind of early right now. Well, at least kind of early, I suppose. So we're just going to move the shoulders from side to side. Start to move the spine. Good. All right. Rolling shoulders back and down. All right. So now we're going to come up to a pose called tabletop. So I'm just going to turn. It's going to be to my left, but on the screen it's probably to your right. So go ahead and come on to hands and knees. Palms directly underneath shoulders. Knees directly underneath hips. And if you notice, I have an Apple ear set here. This is actually works pretty good. If I don't have it, it sounds like a big echo in here. All right, so we're going to inhale, beginning to sink the abdomen down, lifting the crown of the head and the tailbone to the sky. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhaling, sinking the abdomen. This is called cat-cowing the spine. So this is cow pose. Moo. And exhale, rounding the spine. This is cat pose. So do a few of these where your gaze is just looking at the mat. And then as you lift the crown of your head up, your gaze will go up toward the wall. And as you exhale, tucking the chin and tailbone, the gaze goes down toward the mat, maybe between your toes. Just gentle flexing here. So gentle articulation of the spine, nothing forced. We're just starting this. This is a really great, just warm up here. Remember to breathe. Great. You're doing great. All right, we're going to come back to a flat back, and we're going to inhale the right arm forward, left leg back. So when we do this, we're starting to strengthen the back muscles. Taking in a deep inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to slowly lower the palm and the knee down to the mat as if you're moving them through honey. Inhaling up, resisting gravity. Exhaling down. Really just don't let gravity pull your hand down. Don't use any type of momentum. Just we're moving slow and deliberate. And this really helps tone the muscles and help the back be so strong. All right, we're going to do that on the opposite side. Inhaling the left arm forward, right leg back. Exhaling down. Great. I'm so glad you're here. This is awesome. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Now just notice the leg that's being lifted. Your leg might want to, hip might want to float up, but you want to keep that hip parallel with the other hip. Inhale up. And the toes can be pointed or flexed. It's really not, it's at this point, it's just kind of whatever feels best for you. We want this yoga practice to feel nice for you. All right, keep kicking my blocks. I'm just going to readjust here. I'm going to let's tuck our toes underneath. Plant the palms into the mat. So have nice wide fingers here. Able to see this? So we're going to have some space in between the fingers. Deep inhale, and then as you exhale, press your palms into the mat and your toes. Let your knees lift off of the floor and send your hips to the sky. So this is downward facing dog, and we're going to start to walk the dog here. You guys are doing great. Now your legs don't need to be straight here. It's better to have them bent if that's your edge, or if you're able to straighten the legs and send your heels to the floor. Let's do one at a time. So send one heel toward the floor. It doesn't have to touch. Inhaling, exhaling here. It's called walking the dog, sending one heel down and the other. Good. All right. Now we're going to begin to take our gaze to right between our hands and begin to walk the feet forward all the way up. And we're just going to come all the way to the front of the mat. Good. Bend your knees, sink your hips, sweep your arms out nice and wide, come all the way up to standing. Extend your arms overhead. Have your palms separated from each other. Oh, my head's being cut off. That's okay. That's all right. So exhale, we're going to forward fold here. Sorry about that. I should have tested. Um, well, this is a test. This is yoga, Grace Yoga Beta. All right. So then we're going to step back. So we're going to go into a lunge here. We're going to step back with, this is my right foot. So it's going to be your left foot stepping back, meeting in a high runner's lunge. All right. So you're going to be up on your fingertips, or if you do have blocks, you can place them underneath and be up on your blocks, and that might be a little bit more comfortable. Continue to breathe deep here. All right. All right. Now we're going to do something a little bit, starting to warm up the body, a little bit challenging here. So we're going to inhale the arms out to the side, pressing into the front foot, come all the way up. Okay, see. Yeah. So this is crescent lunge, and your right thigh might be firing off, like getting energy. Breathe, and then come back down. Good. Great job. All right, plant both hands around the front foot, slide the front foot back. My little model there, she's probably the epitome of what a downward facing dog should look like when she does it anyways. Okay, so here we're in high plank. Knees are welcome if it's just like a lot. So knees are always welcome. Rolling shoulders back and down. Heart is kind of open forward in front of the mat. Good, good. All right, deep inhale here. And then as we exhale, bend the elbows, keep them hugged in toward the ribs, point the toes. Inhale, peel the shoulders away from the floor. You can go up only as far as is comfortable for you. Exhale down, tuck the toes under, press the toes and the palms into the mat. Send your hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Remembering that the breath is more important than if you look right or if the poses are right. You want the breath to be deep inhales, deep exhales with that constriction in the throat. And then exhale down. Because yoga has, even if, you might have seen yoga, walking the hands back here. So you might have seen yoga poses like in magazines, and they've got their foot behind their head and all crazy stuff like that. We're going to inhale to halfway up. But there's a modification for everything. And so you want this to be easy and gentle for your body. Exhale down. I'm just going to walk the hands back out. So we're building arm strength here. We're coming back to plank. Roll shoulders back and down. Press the toes into the mat. Rock the shoulders just forward about an inch or two so that they're more over the fingers instead of the palms. Bend the elbows. You can keep your knees down on the floor. No worries. Exhale down. Point the toes. Inhale to up. This is cobra. Exhale down. My zipper is catching on the mat. Press the palms and toes into the floor, pressing into downward facing dog. Good. So you might start to feel the body begin to warm up. We're going to walk the dog here just a little bit. Look up at your hands. Make sure that they're evenly away from your body and that your fingers are spread nice and wide. That your whole palm and fingers are all pressing into the mat, and that you could even grip the mat like the tips of the fingers. You can see what that feels like if you grab the mat with your fingertips. And then really press your fingers into the mat and the palms. Deep inhale and exhale. Sink the knees down. Good. Inhale, sinking the abdomen, crown of the head, and tailbone goes up to the sky. Exhale, rounding the shoulders, tucking the chin and tailbone, taking the gaze toward the navel. Inhaling to cow pose. So I've been teaching yoga for several years. I've been practicing it for 20 years. Inhaling. If this is your first yoga class, welcome. So excited. Or if you're a seasoned yogi, welcome. All right. We're going to tuck those toes underneath. We're going to walk the feet up toward the front all the way. Inhale to halfway up, placing your hands on your shins or knees or wherever feels most comfortable. Exhale, forward folding. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Send the arms out nice and wide, coming up with a flat back. Palms are going to be all the way up. So as we meet in chair pose. So we're not going to straighten the whole body here. So chair pose. So your chair might be here, might be here. That's just fine. Feel like the shoulders are reaching toward each other. The shoulder blades reaching toward the spine. Good. Deep inhale and exhale. Knees should not go over the toes, so make sure you can see your toes. And then as we exhale, we're going to press the palms out, straighten the legs, straighten the shoulders, and my head will get cut off, and that's okay. Inhale the arms up overhead. We're just going to exhale, swan dive down. I've heard that many, many times. Swan dive down. Inhale the halfway up. Send your shoulders back and down. Heart is forward. Palms resting on knees or shins, and slide hands down the shins, plant the hands, and then we're going to step back with the opposite foot. Stepping back with that right foot, being in a nice high runner's lunge. So we did this on the other side. So now we're just returning to this warming up pose. It's going to be called crescent lunge. So here in a high runner's lunge, you're going to have your blocks. I have invisible blocks right now. So you're going to have your blocks. Feel as if your spine is nice and long. The neck is a nice extension of the spine. You feel your back heel pressing toward the back wall. Make this a full body experience here. As you exhale, draw your navel in toward your spine. Remember that breath, that ocean breath, Darth Vader breath. All right. All right, now here it comes. We're going to press the front foot into the mat. Inhale the arms up overhead. Ow, ow, ow. Yes, this is what we want. It should not hurt. I said ow, 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 but it shouldn't hurt. So if it hurts, you can come out of it. You can come out of these poses at any time. So you're going to press your back heel back toward the back wall. The knees should not go over the toes. We're safe, we're fun, we're thankful. I'm thankful for you. Yoga is great. Just a little bit more here. Shoulders, if they're raising up toward the ear, just sink them away. Exhale, forward fold over your front bent leg. I'm going to press the palms or plant them around that front foot. Slide the front foot back. Roll shoulders back and down. Take your gaze in front of your mat just a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 feet, a meter. Roll shoulders back and down. Knees are welcome if you're tiring out here. And if you're not, kudos to you. Awesome. Inhaling, exhaling, shoulders coming down to the mat. Point the toes. Inhale to cobra, peeling the shoulders away from the mat. Exhale down. Tuck the toes under, press the palms and toes into the floor. Press the hips to the sky. Maybe you step up with the feet, walking the dog here once again. Good. Guys, you're doing awesome. Awesome, awesome. Walking the dog here, finding stillness. And then we're going to walk the hands back. Slow. We don't need to take long strides with our hands. They can just be like a palm length or half a palm length, coming all the way back to our feet. Good. So we're in forward fold here. Very nice. The knees can be bent just as much as you need. There's no need to have your knees straight. If that starts to hurt your back, you can have your knees bent. You can have your torso drooped over your thighs, letting your head hang nice and heavy. Taking a deep inhale. Let your breath fill your whole lungs and see if you can get your breath to where you feel a little stretch right behind the shoulder blades. Taking in that deep breath. Great job. All right, so we're going to plant our hands gently on our shins. Deep inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to press our shoulders away from that. So roll your shoulders back and down as you come up into halfway up. Notice that I see this a lot. I see people coming to halfway up like this a lot. But what I'd like for you to try to do is to just really roll those shoulders back and away from your ears. And this really starts to strengthen the back muscles. And then go ahead and come out of it, round the spine down, Good work. We're going to walk the palms out all the way. Good. All right. Coming to plank once more. Again, knees are welcome. Rolling shoulders back away from the ears. Your hips will sink down, or your knees down. I'll show modified this time. Squeezing the elbows in toward the ribs. So you want to keep them in toward the ribs as you lower the torso down. Good. Point those toes. Inhale, peel the chest away from the floor. Coming to cobra. Tuck the toes under. Press the hips into downward facing dog. Great work. Deep inhale. And we're going to do that one more time. So we're going to come back into plank. Rolling shoulders back and down. Yoga really does help build muscle and strength. If you need to come down to your knees at any point during this plank, feel free to. I was working with a fitness instructor where I was getting personal training. She said yoga wasn't a real thing, and I'm like, what? It isn't. I believe her because she has her master's, or she had her master's in fitness. If you're starting to burn, you can come down to your knees. It's fine. And then we're gonna come on down, squeezing elbows in toward the ribs, pointing the toes, peeling the shoulders away from the mat, exhaling down. Tucking the toes under, pressing your palms and feet into the floor, pressing hips up to the sky. Last down dog here. So you're doing great. We're almost done with our practice. We're going to do some floor-based stretching here at the end, but we just warmed up the body. We've worked the arms, we've worked the legs, we've worked the core. You've worked the core, so you are awesome. All right, we're going to come down, finish with our cat and cow. So anyways, the point of my story, so we're going to sink the abdomen and lift the crown of the head. So this is cow pose. Good. See? Cow, because this is supposed to be like udders, I guess. And then tuck the chin and tailbone underneath, around the spine. And just breathe. And the point of my story with that was I really believed her, and we were doing some sort of workout where we had like two workout benches right side by side, and she said, okay, I'd like you to put your hand up on them. And then I was kind of like in a plank where my legs were out straight, and then she said, I want you to bring your legs out from plank, and then if you know what dips are, you bring them out to the front and do a dip. Well, at that time I'd been doing 6 sun salutations every morning. That's all I was doing. Anyways, I was able, I'll go into a story about it later if y'all want to hear about it, but I was able to do it and float through it. I was going to continue with cat and cow, and her eyes just got wide. She's like, wow, how are you able to do that? And I didn't say it, but I was thinking it. I'm like, well, it's yoga, because yoga strengthens all the muscles of the arms, strengthens the core, strengthens the legs. I'm like, with anything, it's consistency. So I hope to be here consistent for you, to help you through this journey. I'm still on my own journey. Flat back. All right, and we're just going to come around. How was that? Hope it was nice. All right, so if you have a strap, it would help. You can use a towel or a small blanket or a belt if you have one. We're going to roll down. All right, all the way. Whew. I'll demo without the strap because I'm not sure if I've given enough time. This I kind of just surprise, we're doing yoga this morning. So we're going to straighten. Let's straighten out both legs, straighten the arms out overhead. Nice tall stretch. And then as you exhale, draw the knees in, become small, lift the back of the head, tuck the chin into the body. And exhale, reach the arms up overhead, place the soles of the feet down. Good. Bring your arms back down, and then we're going to send the left foot up to the sky here. All right. You can keep your right foot bent like this with the sole of the foot on the floor, or you can extend it out long. So do whatever feels best for you. So this first time, I'm just going to demonstrate without the strap. And then we're going to have the heels pressing up toward the sky. And then the heels that's down, the heel that's down, you're going to press that heel out. So both feet are flexed here. So not pointed, flexed. So I'm going to place the fingertips and palms behind the thigh. And if your knee is bent, that's fine. And if your leg is shaking, that's fine too. That just goes to show what a great job you're doing, how great yoga is. So glad you're here. All right, I'm going to draw the foot across the body. Just maybe move it about, I don't know, like the length of your forearm, just across the body. Doesn't have to be far. And then begin to feel the stretch down the calf, down the outer edge of that left thigh, into the left hip. Now, I'm going to show it with with the strap, sorry. So if you have a strap, you'll place the strap around the ball of your left foot. Okay, and then you can have it in each side here. And then you'll take the strap into the right hand and send your left arm out by your side like a T, or you can do cactus arm. Cactus arm is like this. I don't know if you can see. And then straight out like a T is just straight. My hand might disappear off that. Yeah, it does. It's okay. So deep inhale here, still feeling the stretch all the way down the leg. Pressing through both heels. Remember to keep both heels flexed. So we're just stretching the muscles back on the back of the leg by pressing the heels up toward the sky and getting into the hip. Then bringing the foot back to center, midline. Well, hello, little Yoshi. I told you guys I had pets, right? Oh. Hi. All right. Yes, good girl. She's so nice. All right, and then we're just going to switch this to the opposite foot. So we'll bring that foot down, extend the feet out long. Oh, you were just me. Did you just say mama? Yeah. All right, and then we're going to draw the opposite foot up. Okay. Her name is Yoshi. Yes, Yoshi, like after the Mario Yoshi, because I like. Okay. I like Mario. I like watching Grand Pooh Bear. Does anybody watch Grand Pooh Bear? Because he plays Mario a lot. Hello. Hi. Yes. Not, even though she's a short-haired cat, she does shed. So we're still pressing the heels, the top heel toward the ceiling, bottom heel toward the floor. Good. And if you don't have a strap, you'll have your hands behind your thigh here. Good. I like that her tail is in the picture right there. Oh my gosh. Hopefully she doesn't stop it. She did. Oh, sorry. I don't know if it's still recording. It's probably not. All right. That was awesome. Yoshi, get down. All right. Basically, that's it. Okay. Let me see her. Okay, okay. Let me take a picture. Sorry, guys. I hope that if you see it. Yes, you'll have to get down, you silly. Okay. Okay. Okay, can y'all see me? I hope y'all can see me. Yoshi just came and like stopped. Let me make sure OBS is still working. I'm sorry. So if you got the strap, then you can come down. So that's basically all yoga, our yoga practice for today. So we're here. If you're laying down, stay laying down. We're just going to stay here. You can choose to stay lying down in. It's called the pose of rest or corpse pose. And you can just lay here and just scan the body. And you'll see at the end of yoga classes, it looks like the people are taking a nap because they're just laying there. But that's actually a really good thing to do. So I'm going to end it here. When you're ready to come up, you'll roll over to one side and you'll press yourself up. You can stay in the pose of rest for as long as you like. Thank you so much for being here today, for your time. Please follow me so that you know when I go live. My plan is to go live every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at the same time around 5:15. So thank you so much, and I hope this was a great yoga experience for you. Namaste.